Hello and welcome to the Illuminating Crossroads community. My name's Lisette, and today we're doing a reading for the Pisces full moon that is happening today, September 17th, or depending on your time zone, it could also be taking place on the 18th as well. I'd like to apologize for any sounds in the video. I have the windows open just so there can be fresh air, and for some reason it just got a little rowdy. So this reading is for you if you are a Scorpio rising. So let's see how this unfolds, because it's very eventful sound-wise so far. I hear it sounds like a trash can or a truck shaking. There was sirens and dogs barking, so maybe there's some message in that of being mindful of outside noises and not letting it affect you internally. So anywho, we're going to dive into 3 different things within this reading. So we'll be looking at what's being illuminated during this full moon, how you can work with these energies to support your growth, and what you're ready to let go of, as well as any additional advice and guidance from your spiritual team. So you can go ahead and get comfy, grab a nice drink, water, tea, whatever soothes the soul, and maybe grabbing a journal or a notebook so you can jot down anything that kind of pings to you. And we'll go ahead and dive in. So we're going to start off with the tarot cards, and we're just going to see what's being illuminated during this full moon in Pisces. So this full moon is a partial lunar eclipse, and it is kind of almost laying a foundation of what might be highlighted stories once the nodes shift from Aries and Libra into Pisces and Virgo. All right. So here are the first 2 cards that we have are the 6 of Pentacles and Temperance. So first off the bat is balance is really a key word, a key thing that's being illuminated for you if you're Pisces rising. And of course, if you happen to watch this and I said Pisces rising, that's so funny, Scorpio rising. So maybe that's a sign to watch Pisces rising if you happen to watch this video. I haven't recorded that one yet, but that will be next. So very interesting. But anywho, a key thing coming up is balance. So 6 of Pentacles is definitely about understanding the harmony between giving and receiving. So, and I'm really focusing on the receiving aspect of it. So maybe at the time of this full moon, you're bringing a deeper awareness towards the parts or maybe the spaces where you have actually allowed yourself to receive, but also where you've been denying yourself to be able to receive, to be able to trust, to be able to open up. And Temperance is really this essence of balancing, but through alchemy. So we have, you can see in this specific card of Temperance, there's the sun and the moon. So I think this is so fitting with this full moon, because the full moon is all about the opposition between that sun and moon. So thinking of the spirit and the body, and how we allow ourselves to find deeper infusion and nourishment on all levels of who we are within this given moment, if you will. So this could be a really good time to even think about for maybe past pains or obstacles or challenges that you've had, to celebrate how you've overcome them, especially thinking in the past 6 months or even the past year. These are quite a bit of cards, so I'm just gonna pull a little bit less. And then also for some reason, just thinking of looking at this pentacle specifically, it's making me, or that disc is making me think like, what are you wanting to create and share right now? So if you are a Scorpio rising, this full moon is illuminating your 5th house. So 5th house definitely has to deal with inner child, or like this essence of innocence, if you will, and just thinking of creativity, and it can represent children, and just thinking of these things that you really want to seed within your life. So here, because I'm seeing that both of these, since both of these are reversed, I would say with a Hermit card, I'm getting this visual of this person like actually standing up and walking like back down the mountain. It's kind of like, what all have you gathered, what have you attained, and maybe even thinking about like, what have you received, as far as like wisdom or illumination, and how can you invite yourself to go back into, like, almost to go back into society and to share those nuggets, to share that light with others, to support with what it means to bring about more harmony and balance in this self-awareness. And at the time of this full moon, there could be, I don't know why I'm like seeing it as like a block of maybe something that you're desiring to create with others or with another. And I'm going to pull one more card because let's see. I think it kind of feels like if there's something that you're wanting to do, but you think that you have to have other people to do this specific thing with you, to make sure that you're honoring what you're capable of doing, like by yourself, but of course knowing that you don't have to block support, if that is something that you're wanting, and like resourcing those who are talented maybe in some of these other areas that you may not be, but to make sure that you're honoring what it is that you have wisdom and clarity and knowingness within, like whatever you have kind of become an expert within. Okay, so next we're going to see how you can work with these energies to support your growth and what you're ready to let go of. So we'll pull some cards from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. Also, the reds are really sticking out to me, as well as the blue. So during this full moon, it might be supportive to maybe do some work on your root energy center, your throat energy center, and even the crown. It's almost like what is wanting to come through you as a channel, to be expressed, to be shared, to be grounded into this present space, or to be created like for community. Okay. All right. So we have Mother Earth, feel loved and comforted. And then we have let go of the need to be right. Okay. And then we have here Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. So with these cards, I would definitely say that like spending time outside, especially just thinking because we're talking about the root energy center, that might be really supportive. And I'm also just thinking like if you have been wanting to work with people, or maybe you've just been finding that it hasn't really been working out for you when you try to do collaborations, asking yourself, like, what has the balance of like the give and take between partnership been, and how could you invite yourself to kind of just cleanse whatever those past experiences may have been, so that you can meet what's present or what you're trying to build now with this pure essence. Because I'm just looking at the smoke and just thinking of like it being cleansing and purifying, and then letting go of the need to be right, of like just knowing that like when you're in your truth and when you know, like, I don't know, I guess it's like that whole like when you know and just honoring that and not feeling like you have to control every fragment of whatever may be occurring right now. So working with these energies to kind of like loosen the grip of control, of having to be right all of the time. So maybe even letting go of perfection. And then with Elder, move beyond ancestral patterns. I just feel like this is coming through to share. Or maybe there were things that your ancestors wanted to share, but they weren't able to. And they're really encouraging you to honor your gifts, to honor your light, so that you can share it with others in a way that they were not able to maybe achieve in their lifetime, but they're rooting you on now. And also just thinking of maybe any animal spirits that might be supportive for you to work with. So noticing what animals might come up during this time. I'm looking at the turtle, the lizard, the snake. We have butterflies. There was a dog. I think that's a buffalo or a bison. I'm not sure. All right. And then next we have just some additional advice and guidance. So trust the timing, trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. So just knowing that you don't have to rush anything, you don't have to force. So really inviting yourself to be present with right here, right now, what's inspiring you, what you want to create, and knowing that all is in right timing. All right. And then we have the golden children, inner child. Yeah, tenderness, innocence, and rare gifts. So that's really beautiful, because we're talking about how this is illuminating your 5th house if you're Scorpio rising. Or if you're watching this and not a Scorpio rising, maybe that is just an area that's being emphasized right now for you. So I feel like, yeah, that's kind of redundant, but really just tapping into that inner child, that tenderness, that innocence. And if you become too serious or too stuck, how can you invite this like playfulness and curiosity, because it also might activate a remembrance of what your gifts are. Sometimes, you know, we don't have full awareness of what our gift is because it might come easy to us, and just remembering the things that kind of bring us joy and sharing, we can kind of get reflections from others of like, oh wow, like that's really cool, because that, like, that's not something that may come easy to another, but sometimes it takes sharing and to just be ourselves more to really know and honor our rare gifts. So, and then also at this time, working with the sun might be really supportive as well. All right, and then I'm just pulling some crystal cards. So if you want to work with crystals during this time, seeing what crystals would be supportive, as well as any additional essences. So we have citrine, which is so fitting since you're just talking working with the sun. It's very much solar energy, working with your solar plexus. So, and it's abundance here. So maybe really tapping into gratitude more deeply at this time, to honor all that you've received, all the abundance that you have, all the potential that's available. And I'm really focusing on the point on the citrine. So just thinking of like cultivating and nurturing that which you're wanting to build momentum with, and allowing for patience and trust. And then we have emerald, so working with our heart energy center and compassion, Pisces is all about being compassionate, and it's an awareness of all so seeing how can you give yourself more grace and compassion, how can you show more compassion towards others and what they may be going through, as we don't know what others are experiencing sometimes. So kind of just keeping that in mind. And this was at the bottom of the deck, so I just feel called to put it out since it says inner child again. So rose quartz. So at the time of this full moon, if you're having any tension spots or pain spots, maybe seeing if there's any inner child work that needs to be done, or the parts of yourself that are desiring to be held with compassion, and maybe even parts of yourself that are desiring to be celebrated, to be honored for the abundance of innocence, of wisdom that has been gathered, and just remembering to keep this consistent harmony of internal peace, of what it means to allow every emotion, everything to be, but to flow, so nothing is getting stuck at this time. All right, so that is everything that we have for this reading. I do hope that you enjoyed. We'll go ahead and close out this reading with divine love, light, and wisdom. If you'd like to join the community, feel free to subscribe. We'd love to have you. And if there's any part of this reading that spoke out to you, please do share down below, leave a comment. And I am wishing you a beautiful full moon in Pisces, this partial lunar eclipse. And I look forward until our paths happen to cross again. Sending you many love, and much blessings. Thank you. Bye.